All right, we should be live. What's up, guys? Michael and Rob here, Lake Michigan Angler. Welcome back to another weekly fishing report. Glad to have you here. See some guys here early. Shout out to the Great One and John. Great One said, I hope it's not the end. Oh, of course, today's title for the live stream for the report is this the end of the Fall King Run? We'll talk about that here. It's going to be mostly what we're going to talk about for today's live stream. Today is going to be his first day going in fishing for kings this season. Need to stop by LMA for some eggs. Yeah, we got eggs, right?
Yep.
So we got eggs. Feel free to stop by, get you some. John also here said, question about spoons. Some of my spoons have large single hooks on them. Should I change them to treble hooks? Good question.
You know what? It's just a personal preference for people. I'm fine with either one, trebles or singles. Singles are nice. If you're catching a lot of fish, a single hook is nice because it's easier to get out.
Out of the net.
You know, out of the net, out of the fish's mouth, that is easier for sure. I haven't ever noticed a huge difference in the hookup rate. So whatever it comes with, I usually just stick with.
Yeah, there you go. Welcome, y'all. We're also doing another Akuma giveaway today. So in order to enter yourself into that, it's no purchase necessary. Just say hello in chat. Say something. Just say something in the chat at least one time. Rob is vigorously running out of ink to write down names. And that's all it takes for you to enter. And then at the end of the live, we'll do a random wheel spin and we'll select somebody to win. The giveaway for today, we definitely have another Akuma Samar reel. Really nice. And we have the Akuma SST spinning rod to go with it. It's fantastic.
9-foot medium. Yeah. Good all around. You know,
Yeah.
if you want to cast spoons and stuff for kings, if you want to skein fish, if you want to use it for the browns and steelhead, shortly here in the next month, in about a month and a half, they'll start. It's good for all that stuff.
Yeah, and the reel is really nice. 4,000 size, plenty of line on there, so you don't have to worry about getting spooled out, whether you're fishing from shore, boat, kayak, whatever. So that will be given away today. And again, all you have to do is type in chat at least something, say hello, and that's it. All right. You do not necessarily have to be here to pick it up. We can ship it, but if you're local, come on by and grab it once you've won it, okay? So, as Rob's doing that, let's talk about the fishing, get straight into it. Rob and I were talking about this fall run just before we went live right now, and I covered it in one of my videos on my kayak channel. My opinion so far is the fall run kind of has sucked, and that's just, as we talked about, it's been largely the conditions have really just been brutal. We didn't get any kind of water flip at all. It was the lowest I've seen it. The entire run has been 66 degrees, but mostly it's been in the low 70s, and it's done a lot to impact the fish catches. Quite a few of my trips have been single catches, and that's not been the norm for however many years now. The last at least 4 years. You might not catch every king that you get hit, but you would go out and you get 3 bites, and maybe you went 1 for 3, or maybe you got 5 bites and you went 3 for 5. You kind of get the idea here. I literally have gone 1 for 1, and putting a lot of hours on the water, mind you. So it's been very just an odd year. Now, mind you, we've overall had a phenomenal year for fishing, but specifically with the fall King Run, it's been very, very tough, and I would love to hear how your guys' assessments, if you had to grade it, A through F, up to this point, what would you grade it? Share that in the chat as well. I'd love to hear that. Where we're at right now, I went out this past week. What day was it? I think I went out in the middle of the week, Tuesday or Wednesday this week, and again, water dipped back down to the mid 60s, about 65. So it came down from the 70s. I thought that would have been enough. All it takes sometimes is just a few degrees of a change, and that could be enough to get some of these fish active. So I was hopeful that with the temp sliding down to the mid 60s, that perhaps there'd be a lot more activity. But I simply just didn't see a lot of numbers of fish. I was in Kenosha on that day. On that particular day, didn't see a lot around the channel or in the donut, as I call it. There was decent amount of fish by the bridge until there were guys there on the banks fishing for them and stuff like that. I went out into the open water, saw some here and there, and that was it. So didn't really do anything that day. I didn't catch anything. Didn't see a whole lot. It was just a little bit of a tough situation. And I see some other people sharing stuff, and it seems to be par for the course right now. We are in Wisconsin. Let me go through the chat. Hello to everyone. Thank you guys for joining us. Pretty good season this year. Took a little time to get going. Okay. What else do we have here? Keith, what's up, man? Good morning. Good to see you, bud. Buddies and I were considering a trip that direction soon. Maybe not if the fishing has been so inconsistent. Maybe we'll hold out for an extra spring trip. Thanks for the info as always, guys. Yeah, I think just being honest about the fishing right now, if you're making a trip from a far ways away, out of state, or you're a couple hours away, it's really kind of hit or miss. Perhaps the better idea may be to wait until things turn around. Now, we're talking about specifically about the fall king run. Keep in mind, though, pretty soon we're going to have those coho running in the rivers. So like the Root, the Milwaukee. So that's going to be another fishing opportunity. That could be a really good bite. The coho may be totally different than how the kings were in their fall run. So we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I think if we get a good rain soon, that's going to make a big difference. There's already some fish in the rivers. They're getting some kings in the low stretches from shore on eggs and stuff. In any deep holes, there's some fish hanging out. But if you get a good rain, and maybe towards the end of the week we're going to get some rain, that will fire some fish up for sure.
That was another thing. We didn't have a ton of rain this entire September.
We've only had one good rain.
Yeah, September was really like an extended August, and that's very odd. And I think that's what really made it tough. I mean, we had King Week, we had our Big Pond Brawl, all really typically every other year prior at that same time frame. We're catching a lot of kings in the fall run, but it was really, really tough. It goes to speak about the conditions. That being said, the coho run's coming up. Don't forget, November, December, still great fishing. If you could bear the cold in the open water, in the harbors, you're going to have the steelhead, you're going to have browns, in the rivers as well. They're going to start running up the rivers and doing that stuff. So still great fishing opportunities, although it might be a little tough now for the kings. There's still great fishing to be had. So keep that in mind as you're making your plans, because you can still get into some stuff. And the great thing about that time frame is it's a lot less people on the water.
Yeah.
So it's really good if you still got small boat anglers, shore guys, kayak guys. While all the other guys that got big boats, put them all away. You have a lot more kind of room to fish. So take advantage of it. Let's see what else you guys have to say in the chat. Scott said, "Hey Michael, do you have any more thoughts on moonshine spoons since you made your very informative YouTube video?" I do not. I don't have anything else to add to that at this point. Ryan said 137 kings processed in the Root River is an awful return for October.
Yeah, it's that's like the least I've ever heard. I haven't really watched those numbers too much the last few years, but when I was more of a river rat, I used to pay it a lot. I paid much closer attention to it, and it's typically well into the thousands for this time of year. And to me, it's just all about the conditions. We've just had terrible conditions. Warm water and no water, basically. So, there hasn't been any rain. It's tough for those fish to get all the way to the rear where they're counted. So, it's just really, really tough conditions.
Yeah, I saw someone else say, I heard about the return to Racine. It's horrible, he said. I didn't hear about that, or at least I didn't read about that just yet, but that's pretty insane. What was the stocking like in 2020 and 2021? This is the year they would be coming in. Yeah, we talked about that about 4 years ago was when they did the increase in Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Correct?
But I don't remember exactly what those numbers were. So, there's a lot of things that affect the returns. I think the conditions are probably our biggest enemy right now, but some, survival rate of fish when they're stocked and all that kind of stuff plays into it as well. How many fish really made it out into the lake once they were put into the harbor or the river. How many fish were eaten by birds and other predators and stuff like that. You never really know. It's hard to estimate all that, but There's so many different things to play into it.
Yeah.
But right now, I mean, the most obvious thing is the fact that they're not going to make it to the Weir in Racine if there's no rain.
Yeah. It's interesting. A lot of comments here saying that there's a lot more coho in the rut than there are kings. Which,
Yeah, that is really interesting. and I've heard that throughout the week.
Maybe the coho bullied out the kings.
Yeah.
Let's see. Milwaukee was the best out of Racine and Kenosha. Okay, thanks for sharing that. They're mentioning nighttime has been noticeably better. It makes sense that nighttime would be better, especially with the conditions that, the water is already warm, but it certainly doesn't help when you have the sunlight beaming into that water. Mind you, most of these fish are sitting inside of 30 feet of water. That's a lot of light penetration. So not only are they out of that water temp they would prefer, but now they got, like, think about a searchlight just shining there. You're like, Jesus Christ, it makes sense that nighttime bite would work. I personally haven't done a lot of nighttime fishing this fall, mostly because when I'm out there I'm trying to record, but you can't really make good videos in the dark, so it's hard to do that. So I probably should have did a couple like late night trips, maybe overnight, at least till like midnight or something, or I just didn't do it this year.
Just remember, if you're up in the rivers, you can't fish at night right now. If you're up like Island Park and Racine and all that, there's no night fishing in the rivers like Pike River.
Oh, really? That. Yeah. I never knew that.
Yeah,
I never knew that. Okay. All right. By the way, any other questions? Feel free to share it in the comments or any thoughts as well as we're going along through this. Rob, I kind of shared my thoughts on the King run. Any other things you want to add to it, or you thought of?
Just finding the feedback from people coming in through the week. Low light has been key, but some of the areas you can't fish at night, or some of us just don't have the schedule for that. I did have some feedback from people. If they found shady areas, they were able to get some fish on eggs during the day. If you can find some deeper holes in the rivers downstream somewhere, there'll be a few fish held up. You can get them to bite, and it seemed like red skein was best.
There you go. David said, I'm surprised they can even swim to the dam.
Well, yeah, I don't know if they've made it to the dam, but that's a long way from the weir.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they can even make it to the weir.
Yeah. DB said, do you sell loose eggs for bagging? We do not sell loose eggs. Just cured, ready to go skein. Lex said, at the dam, they counted 400 coho and 70 kings at the fishery on the rut. Wow, it's a lot of coho.
Yeah, for the conditions, I'm kind of surprised.
And the time, yeah, you would still think that, all right, well, they're running in there. Hello, good morning, everybody else. Real quick, just a quick reminder, we're going to do this giveaway here shortly. So if you have not typed in chat, say hello, say something, say hi. If you have not already commented, by the way, we'll make it easier. Just say hi. If you have not commented just yet, Rob's been writing down names for everybody who's typed in chat. If you have not said anything, say hi real quick. He'll jot you down. That way we'll get to the Kuma giveaway here momentarily. Don't want to keep you guys too long. We do have skein. We still got spoons. You want to go out there casting. Crankbaits. Refrunners have been doing well. Refrunners have done a lot of damage for me. Kind of typical of every year. Refrunners do a lot of damage and stuff like that. Let's see what else is there. Is there a common pattern of various harbors used to set out buoys? I do not know the answer to that question, Scott. Matthew said, are they hanging around deeper in the harbor or in shallow areas? In the harbor,
they're kind of like, you have some fish doing different things right now in the harbor. So you're going to have some total zombies that are in the shallow areas of the harbors. Some fish that are just ready to spawn. They're going to find some gravel in there somewhere if they're not shooting up a river. And then again, some fish that are still a little more active that haven't been in the harbor so long. They're probably holding up more in the deeper areas because they just haven't gone into full spawn mode yet. So you're going to see fish doing various things right now.
Yeah. Joe said, do you put single hooks on your reef runners? No. I honestly, I'm of the mindset I would never do that. The reason why is this. When we're talking about using reef runners, it's specifically for these kings. And remember, they're not actively feeding, right? So when they're actively feeding, they're trying to inhale that lure, that bait. Let's just talk generally in bait. They're trying to inhale it, suck it in. Whereas with these reef runners and in the time period that we're fishing for them in the fall run, they're not trying to eat. They're just trying to swipe at it. And I've literally watched them on live scope when they come up. They just kind of flick at it. And a lot of times they get close enough, they flick and like kind of nip at it. And that's where you catch them. That's why a lot of my hooks, if you really look, if you notice it, a lot of my hook sets on the reef runners, that hook treble is just at the inside of their lip, which means they were kind of like nipping at it. And I've seen them come in and like just turn and swipe at it. So I would keep the trebles on for that reason. I just want more barbs out there, more hook points for it to catch on, you know. So that I would advise or suggest that to leave it as be. Jason, sorry I'm late. Fish still coming in. Haven't made it out in a couple of weeks. I don't know if they're coming in. Coho are starting to move in. It seems like from a lot of comments in chat. There looks like they're doing pretty well in the rut already. So there's that. There's still fish in the harbor.
I think we'll see another wave of kings, maybe two, but one for sure. We just need a good rain, and I think another wave of fish will just come right in. Mm-hmm. We usually see that in October. Like we start to think it's done, and then another wave of fish comes in, and they're pretty fresh. And so,
hopefully, so you know, unfortunately,
it could be a big one this year.
Yeah, unfortunately, we haven't seen a lot of guys fishing offshore in the last week or two. Which a couple of reports ago, there was really good fishing, like 100 feet of water, like 60 to 100. There was 2 and 3 year olds, some even 4 year olds still being caught out there. So, to Rob's point, there may be still some that hanging out just off there, just waiting for something to have them come in there. Okay. Heading to Racine next week to fish. Are you saying it's too late? No, we're not saying it's too late. Keep in mind. We're not trying to discourage anyone from fishing.
It's just fish to be caught. It's just not easy fishing.
Right. It's not easy fishing. You're gonna put in some time. It's a grind. That's more so what we're trying to convey. It's a grind. So just be prepared mentally to sit there for 8 hours, perhaps more. You know, and for 1 or 2 opportunities. But if you want to fish, there's fish there for sure. Let's see. Captain Dominic, don't forget inline spinners. Seems like a lot of great
spinners guys. Are something I always forget about. Yeah. And they're a really, really good bait. We've got some of the flying seas and the long casts.
Those are very popular.
Yeah, and then like if in the rivers, the aglias and stuff like that are really good, and a couple others. But once you get into like harbor fishing, it's really an overlooked bait. Yeah. Those flying seas and the long cast maps are really heavy, so you can cast them really far. And it's a presentation that the fish don't see very often in the harbors. Just a different vibration and everything. So I'm really guilty of forgetting about using spinners.
Yeah,
but
me too.
They're an important lure to be using down there for sure. And not just for the kings, but they're good for the browns and steelhead in the later fall and winter. They're good in the spring. You'll catch spring cohos on them, you catch browns on them, catch everything.
Yeah.
So don't forget about spinners.
I just had a thought about throwing one on a little rigger and just shooting it down a little bit.
In other areas, they fish like that.
Yeah, no, they do. In the West Coast, they put spinners behind flashers. So yeah, good point. Good suggestion there. Louis, do you think we'll have a good brown trout and steelhead return this fall? Thoughts on that, Rob?
It's hard to say. If the water cools, I'm hoping that we at least have a real good cold snap beginning of November. Really cool off that harbor water, and I think that's going to be a key thing to it. I want to see that water get into the 40s, and if by then if you get water in the upper 40s, we should have browns around. Low 50s, but upper 40s would be, if we get those conditions, we'll have them. So it always gets better and better as it gets colder.
I'm not looking forward to the cold one.
I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it.
It's such a double, yeah, it's like a catch-22 for me. I hate being out in the cold, but then like that's a good, it's good for fishing.
Like the jerkbait bite and the thin fish and all that stuff.
There was one year Rob and I were out in the, right after ice out, it was early spring. And what was it, like February? Mm-hmm. And it didn't matter what you threw. It was absolutely insane brown trout. Every cast Rob and I were, and there was someone else with us. We were plucking them. He got
Like a swim bait bite.
Yeah,
actually.
he threw a swim bait out there, like the actual,
the segmented trout, like
the ones used
really
for bass.
good. Yeah,
not like a plastic.
That was
swim
probably the most fun I ever had catching brown trout.
Yeah.
Catching them on that, it's a blast.
Yeah, it was a crazy day. Let's see. We were at the Rogue River last week, and there was good activity in front of us, but couldn't get any bites. Hear a lot of those stories.
Yeah, it's one of those things where you just got to be there when they're fired up, and then you get a few bites, hopefully. And the key is just patience and perseverance, really.
Yeah. Good to see Frank Scalero here. Missing you guys out there. Finally got out. Got rid of the skunk at Tower Road with Steely. Yeah,
Nice.
I saw that. He's fishing Tower Road in his kayak. Let's see here. Have you guys heard of many Atlantic or pink salmon being caught? I got my first Atlantic out of Racine Coho fishing last spring.
Atlantic's been a pretty rare one the last few years. You know, they've always been rare, but if you went back 10, 15 years, you'd see them here and there a little more often. And I bet more people catch them than realize it. Because they do look, when you get a nice silver one, they look so much like a spring brown trout that most people wouldn't even know the difference. Pinks, they were getting some pinks in the rivers up north. There were a few caught on the boats this summer. Not nearly as many as there were last year. But there were some caught. And then, like I said, they had a pretty good run of them in the rivers up north. So, like way up north in Wisconsin, Marinette, Menominee, Peshtigo, those types of areas. So, it's definitely, pinks are more common than the Atlantics for sure.
Yeah. Pretty cool feature we just realized as we're talking about the spinners, we actually just linked them on the stream here. So if you're actually looking for some, you can order them right through our channel from the shop. So that's pretty cool. Some little feature we just realized that we can do there. All right. Any other questions before we get to the giveaway for the Akuma rod and reel? Again, this is all made possible from Akuma, so thank you to Akuma for supporting our live stream here. We have quite a few to do for the coming weeks as well, so they definitely are committed to supporting us on the live stream and giving back to you guys. If you have not said hello in chat just yet, say hello. So that's your way to enter in for the giveaway. We'll give you guys another minute or two to do that, and then we'll go ahead and roll it and pick a winner.
You're up to 63.
Up to 63 people right now. So we've got like 79 watching. For the remaining few that haven't said anything, now's your time to do that. There we go. Ryan Hoover. All right. Best baits for November, December Harbor Lakeshore Browns. Great question, Jay. I'll tell you what a couple of mine are. For one, I like size 4 and 5 flicker shad, especially ones that have gold on it. So there's like a gold sunset. There's a speckled gold, which I don't know if they can discontinue that one, which is...
I've got some if they did.
Rob's got some.
I loaded up.
Yeah, they're phenomenal. Those Steelhead and Browns love that freaking gold speckled flicker shad. But I like to downsize my cranks, to be quite honest with you, in that cold water. I just tend to find that they're more responsive to smaller profiles in that cold water. And maybe it's because there's a lot smaller bait around. Don't know, but those are just some of my favorites.
Yeah, I've seen the same thing sometimes. My favorites, it kind of depends on the fishing I'm doing. Shore fishing, I'm using a lot of jigs under bobbers. That's even if I'm casting out in the lake or in the harbors, but you can't go wrong shore fishing with a tube jig, like a pearl tube jig, and a waxy or a piece of shrimp, or a hair jig. Stuff like that's really hard to beat. Then I'm a big crankbait guy. I like jerk baits. I want to use Brad's Thin Fish, Husky jerks. If I'm fishing shallow, at least Brad's Thin Fish, Husky jerks, Smithwick Rattling Rogues, stuff like that. A lot of people have a lot of success with square bills like KVD 1.5, Spro Little Johns. I've done really well with. Stuff like that. And then if I'm getting down a little deeper, I'm using more of the flicker shad, stuff like that. And then the other new one actually that you should put on there is the Strong Killer Fish, and that's got it's like a Brad's thin fish, but a lot of new colors that are pretty good. So I'm looking forward to using those. We didn't get them early enough in the spring for me to use them.
What are they called again?
The strong killer fish. Really good colors. I'm really looking forward to using those this fall and winter.
May not be in there yet. Well, we added some of the thin fish.
I might not have them online yet.
Yeah,
so they're great baits. But again, if you're on shore, even when I'm out in the kayak, I'll use a tube jig. But any kind of jig, especially a tube jig, is like 1.5, 2-inch tube jigs. White
is like,
I usually like a 32nd, maybe 16th ounce jig head because I want it to fall really slow when I'm fishing like that. That seems to be the key, especially in the harbors. Now in the river, if you're fishing with a jig, sometimes you need to be heavier just to cut through the current and get down to where the fish are. But in the harbors, I like that slow fall. I just want it to just slowly drop down like that, and that seems to be the trigger for the fish.
Yeah. And a little pro tip there is you can also tip it with a little spike.
Yeah.
I know people like that a lot. That helps to give it just a little extra. We also just pinned, by the way, we talked about thin fish. That purple one for browns.
Oh, yeah.
We pinned it on the video there. So that's, if you don't have that guy, the purple one is.
That's my favorite.
Yeah.
The gold is really good too. I don't have too many right now. I got to get some more soon. But those are a couple of my favorites.
Yep. All right, Rob is writing down some names here. We're going to do this drawing here, guys, so we can let you go about your Saturday and whatnot. You should live stream from the boat, so hopefully fish interrupt. Yeah, that would be, that's actually how that works, right? We'll fish and then we can't talk to you guys. Pointer 78 is a great early winter bait for harbor browns.
Yeah, you know what? That's an interesting one that I know a lot of people have had really, really good luck with. Swear by that lure. I know it works, and I can't catch much on it.
We all have that lure that,
I've had a few of them. That's one of them for me, for sure.
Rob likes Thundersticks for kings in the fall. I've pulled them, man. The catch rate.
That one right there was on a Thunderstick.
Yeah, the catch rate between reef runners and a Thunderstick for me is just not even comparable. So I have like 2 in my box, but it's got to be a day for me to pull it out. All right, Paul said, "What's up? Hey guys, Siege, hello. Arctic Spinners, great shore for me."
Yep, I've heard good things about those as well.
All right, guys, we got everyone in here. We're gonna go ahead and do this. Looks like, Rob, what's the final count?
70
people. Wow,
that's incredible. The most so far. So that's awesome.
Thank you guys for joining us. Let me go ahead and enter this in here. Range 70, you said?
Yep.
70. All right. Let's see. Does that look like we got all 70? We do. All right, guys. Let me see if I'm gonna show you this to you. We're gonna do the spin, the randomized picker here. We got 1 through 70. Hopefully you guys can see. Let me see. Can you guys see what's going on here? Should be able to. All right. Here we go. I'm gonna hit spin. It's spinning. Where it's gonna end, we don't know. Looks like winner number is 39, Rob. 39.
39.
Who we got for 39?
Captain Dominic again.
Oh, he can't. We got to re-roll. He won. He can't. How is that?
All right, we'll do it again.
Sorry about that. Let's do it again. He won the first one. So if you win this, you can't do it again. All right. No whammies.
Right.
Guys, don't. It's not a sham. All right, let's re-roll it. What are the odds of that?
I know.
That's
right?
insane. All right, it's rolling again. All right, looks like number is 55, Rob. 55. What do we got?
Chase. I can't read my writing. Chase.
Looks like
Strickland.
an S. Chase Strickland?
That sounds right. So I can't read my writing, but that's what it looks like.
Good job.
So yeah, call us at the shop. We can arrange you getting that rod and reel.
Yeah, Chase. Yeah, Strickland. Yeah, Chase Strickland. Congratulations, this week's winner of the Akuma. You're getting the 4,000 size Akuma Samar reel. Really nice reel.
Yep.
And you got the Akuma SST rod to go with it. It's a fantastic combination. Really, really good. Highly recommend. And the great thing about this is, like, you know, the rod is like $100, right?
Yeah.
And the reel
is like 60 or something. I don't remember.
So fantastic value for the quality of both the rod and the reel. So if you are looking to get yourself a setup, this is a combination I highly recommend you guys consider. You can always stop by, get it in your hands, feel it out, see how it's like. And again, thank you to Akuma for making this possible. So I think that's about it, guys. We'll have another one next week again. So we'll post up on our Facebook about that as well. It may be another spinning combo. It might be another...
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? Should we do another spinning combo, or should we get into trolling stuff?
Yeah.
You guys tell us.
Yeah, let us know right now. Can I do a poll? Wait, I think we can do a poll.
Because we've got some brand new cold waters with some Convector Pro rods to give away and some BLT wire rods. So there's some pretty good stuff. Why don't you guys let us know what you think we should give away next week?
Oh, here, we got a poll. We're going to do a poll. Hold on, guys. Hold on. We'll do a poll.
Like a cold water trolling combo or a spinning combo? SSTC Mar.
So trolling combo or spinning combo. Stand by, chat. 1 second. Trolling, spinning. All right, let's start this poll. You guys are helping us test out these features that we never really used before. All right, polls up, guys. If you can just take a moment to click what you guys would prefer for next week, and we'll do it. Very, very simple. Let the votes come in. We'll give you guys a minute because it shouldn't take too long to hit a button. A lot of mixed kind of comments on trolling or spinning in there. Go ahead and let us know. It's about 50-50. All right, we're not doing 2 of 1, so one has to.
All right, right now it's leaning towards trolling. 59% trolling.
Yeah. Go ahead and vote, please. Help us help you guys. Whatever you'd like to do. Here's
62% trolling. Wow, you shore fishermen need to pick up the pace here.
Here's the good news, though, is regardless of whether it's trolling next week or spinning next week, all of these have to come out and be given away. So it's just a matter of when it's going to come out. So, keep that in mind.
Yeah. And make sure that you're answering the poll in the poll itself, not just the comment in there, because we're only going by...
Yeah, we're going by the poll. It's at the top of the chat. You should see it. If you're on mobile, I really don't know how it's displayed. But so far...
Yeah, I can look at that.
Rob will take a look. Should be fine. Give it another second or two. Jeff, hello. How you doing? How about boards? Boards as far as like planer boards? We're not currently doing any giveaways with.
But if a planer board company wants to give us some planer boards to give away, we'll give them away.
Yeah. We're definitely open to working with companies that want to support our viewers in these live streams.
All this stuff that we're giving away is courtesy of Okuma.
Yeah.
So big thanks to them for providing us all this gear to give away.
Yep. It shows well on mobile. Oh, perfect, Benji. Thank you. It just pops up. Perfect. On mobile, it's a black bar at the top of the chat. Cool. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Cool. Awesome. All right. I think we're going to end the poll right there.
65% in favor of trolling.
Yeah. There's the final results. 34 of you guys voted. Thank you so much. So we'll do a trolling setup.
Yeah, next week all you shore fishermen better get your buddies to to watch this so you can skew the poll. We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again. All right. Thank you guys for joining us for today's live. Again, some of the stuff we talked about, like the spinners and the thin fish, we've linked to them in the video. If you guys are looking forward to the wintertime brown steelhead fishing, they're right there. You guys can get it from our from the shop to our YouTube channel, which is pretty cool. It's like more like QVC like. It's kind of cool. So as we'll have to utilize it in the future as we talk about something, we can give it right there for those that are curious about like going and reading up more about it or whatever. You can get it. So generous you guys doing this. Thanks. Yeah. Well, I mean, again, it's all part of Akuma. So that's it, man. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, it's a grind out there, but I'd rather sit out there for 8 hours grinding than be in the office. So take that for what you will. See you next week. All right.
Yep.
Tight lines.
Have a good one, guys.